If I'm traveling, I'm literally going to be buying bottled water. I don't care. Hey besties, and welcome back to Sustainability Sundays. As you all should know very well by now, Sustainability Sundays is all about small, realistic changes that you can make in your everyday life to be more sustainable. There are, however, a lot of small, realistic changes that I personally will not be making. And that's what this video is about. These are the realistic changes that a lot of people could easily make. They just don't work for my lifestyle, for the environment that I'm in. So since I will not make full videos talking about these, I figured I'd explain some of them in just one big, if it works for you, it works for you, but it doesn't work for me type of video. The first thing is actually something that we used to do when I was a kid, but now that I'm an adult, it doesn't really work in my environment. And that's composting. Growing up, we had a composter in my backyard. We would take all the kitchen scraps, toss them into the composter, and it would end up making fertilizer out of all my food scraps. Sounds great, right? You are literally any of the scraps, making sure they don't go to waste, recycling the scraps pretty much. Super beneficial, right? I live in an apartment. Yes, I have a yard. I am not able to put a composter out there. I can't compost. I know that they sell like countertop composters now, which I have looked into, and they're really, really cool. But a really nice one that is like smell proof costs like $2,000. I am not spending $2,000 on a countertop composter. That's not realistic for my lifestyle. So while composting, if you live in a house with space in the yard, great option. 10 out of 10 would recommend. But it doesn't work for me. Along that same train of thought, gardening, growing my own food. Technically, I don't have a balcony, but out my back door, I have a little landing where the people who lived in this apartment before I did grow herbs on the landing. However, we have a lot of critters in our area, not in my apartment, but there's raccoons, there's possums, we have a family of groundhogs living in the backyard. There's a lot of critters. Growing things will attract them. I know that if I try to grow anything, the critters will come and eat it because apparently that's what happened to the last people that lived here. So no, I'm not going to put all that time and effort into trying to grow my own food just to have outdoor animals eat it. It's not worth it to me. If I was able to have like a little greenhouse outside, or if I was able to have little like actual gardening section that I could rope off like with chicken wire, something like that, I'd be all for it. I love the idea of growing my own food, knowing where my food comes from, being self-sustaining and being sustainable. I love that idea. Will not participate in it because I don't have the room for it, realistically. The next one definitely shows some entitlement, and I don't want to phrase it that way, but it kind of does. I will not wash out Ziploc bags and reuse them. To me, I don't use plastic Ziploc bags for much. We have reusable bags for many things. I really only use plastic Ziploc bags if I'm traveling, to put, my liquids in it, or to put beauty products in it in case it spills so it doesn't get all over everything else in my luggage. If it's something as simple as that, yes, I'll reuse the bag, no big deal. But if for some reason I have to put a food item into one of those bags, say that all of our reusable bags are full and I have something else and I put it in there. When I'm done with that food item, I'm not going to wash out that bag and keep it. I have a whole box full of bags that I got for 69 cents for the full box. Is it sustainable to just throw out the bag after I use it? No. But for 69 cents for a full box of them, I'm not going to rinse it out. I will not use solid bar shampoos, solid bar conditioners, and solid bar soap. That's definitely more sustainable than getting, bottles and bottles and bottles of shampoos, conditioners, soaps, body washes. I understand that. However, I know my hair texture, which is why I will not go for solid shampoo bars or solid conditioners. I know my hair texture by now. That's just a big no for me. The soaps though. I used to love getting bar soaps from Lush. It was one of my favorite things. I loved Lush bar soaps. Honestly, my fiance still uses Lush bar soap. It works for him. What I've noticed though, A, it'll fall off the ledge of the shower and onto the shower floor sometimes, making it extra slippery. B, it gets a gross film on it. And C, I just don't feel as hygienic using it. Is it more sustainable? Yes, certainly more sustainable than all of the plastic that goes into body wash. But I'm not going to use it because I don't feel as clean when I use it. So this is one that I'm torn on because I'll do a little bit of it, but not all of it. And that is mending my own clothes or making my own clothes. I don't have a sewing machine, so making my own clothes, totally out the window for me. Mending my own clothes though. I have a cat who likes to claw, so a lot of my clothes end up with holes in them. I am not mending those. I know it's not sustainable, but honestly, it would take so much time and effort for me to learn how to mend the clothes, to find the right fabrics to mend it with. It just doesn't make sense for my life for me to mend all of that. However, I do have a leather jacket that I've owned since long before being vegan. I've owned it since middle school, and the stitching and the lining fell out. So I am mending that. That is one of my favorite items I've ever owned. I am fixing that up. I'm not sewing it. I found leather glue so I can just glue the leather back together where it goes. Fingers crossed that it works. But for something like that, I'll mend it. But I'm not going to take the time and the effort to mend a little cat hole in a shirt. If there's a cat claw hole in a shirt, I'm just still going to wear it. I'm not going to mend it. And the last one actually makes me genuinely upset that I don't participate in this sustainability trend, but it doesn't work for us. And that is farmers markets. I know, farmers markets are certainly the most sustainable when it comes to getting produce, when it comes to getting any type of food. However, where I live, there aren't farmers markets all year long. It's seasonal. But then when they happen, it tends to be Saturday mornings. I have always worked Saturday mornings. I don't anymore, but my fiance works on Saturdays. It doesn't fit into our schedule, and it doesn't make sense to tell work, hey, I can't work, I have to go to the farmer's market. But also, you are then at the liberty of whatever they have at the farmer's market. And yes, it's fresh, but it has to be used then. It is significantly easier for me to go to the grocery store and get frozen vegetables and keep them in my freezer. I can go to the grocery store at any time. They don't have as strict hours as farmers markets do. I don't have to worry about what is in season at that moment. I just get frozen veggies of the foods that I know that my fiance and I both like, stock them in the fridge, boom. So much easier. I do love farmers markets in theory. Unfortunately, farmers markets just don't really align with our lifestyle and with our schedules. And I hate that. That also kind of ties into co-ops. I know that a lot of people will join like a co-op and they'll go in on like buying a cow and like everyone in it will divvy up the meat. I'm vegan, so I'm never going to do that. But that's just me. These are all swaps that are super simple. And if they work for your lifestyle, those are some of the easiest swaps to make. Unfortunately for me, they don't work with my lifestyle. This isn't me saying go zero waste. I will never say that. This is not me saying these ways you could go zero waste, but I won't do it because I would never go zero waste. That is far too much of a commitment that I personally will never agree to. But these are easy swaps. I personally won't do them, but you can. And it helps a lot with sustainability. I guess this also shows you that even though I focus a lot on sustainability, I'm still a normal person. I will still happily go out and get my coffee at the coffee shop in their little plastic cup because I don't bring my own cup half the time because I don't remember to. I'll be honest, I don't remember to. Sustainability isn't about being perfect. It is about making little realistic changes. That's what it all boils down to. Not every swap is easy, and not every easy swap will work for you. Don't get me wrong, I wish that I could participate in a lot of these swaps. It just doesn't work for my lifestyle. And on that note, I'm gonna go and have a homemade iced coffee that is more sustainable than going to the store to get one. Although your girl loves going to the store to get an iced coffee. Thank y'all so much for watching. Make sure to give the video a thumbs up. Subscribe if you are not subscribed. Leave a comment down below saying what swap you would love to make but just doesn't work for you. And I will see you in my next video. Bye.
I don't know, but I've been told the world outside is oh so cold.